Hello, everybody. Welcome. I wonder if I'm in the wrong group. Hang on. It's showing me the wrong thing here again, which I hate when it does that, but I think I'm in the right place. Welcome to my Facebook Live May free class for orders purchased with me in the month of April. I am so glad you are here with me today. Yeah, if you're hopping on, let me know, because for some reason I cannot tell if I am actually in the right place this morning. I was having all kinds of trouble bringing this up, so I was on about a minute late. It wouldn't let me go live, and so I had to go in and out a couple times. So if you are here and you are in the Crazy Stamping Lady group, and I am up where I should be, please say hi. And yeah, I'm not coming up on mine yet, so we're going to see what happens here. It is Monday, May 12th, 2025, and I am so happy to be here with you. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. Oh, good, Debbie. Can you just say in the comments, am I in the Crazy Stamping Lady group? I cannot find it on my computer. It won't come up. So I'm having a little trouble, but I'm glad you're here, Debbie. Glad you're watching. Yeah, if you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know that. I'm coming to you from beautiful Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with blue skies and white puffy clouds and lots of green going on. So beautiful, beautiful day. Okay, good. Hi. Good. So glad you're here, Debbie. This class is a special thank you to my customers for ordering from me, but everyone is welcome to watch today and see the cute projects we make and take down the measurements if you want to try to duplicate them. If you ordered from me in the month of April and your order was $50 or more, you would have received a kit from me in the mail. But if not, you can still watch and see what we're making. This video will remain here in this group live for 30 days, and then Facebook will get rid of it. But in the meantime, I will try to upload it to my YouTube, so you will have it there to reference in the future, even after those 30 days. You can see I have a little redness on my face. I don't know if you can see my neck. It's also extremely red. I look tired. I can tell I look tired, but I think it's just the puffiness from the sunburn. We were out most of the day yesterday watching grandkids play soccer. My granddaughter Makai clinched, their group won, and they clinched a spot in the top level of nationals for soccer. So they'll be heading out to California for nationals. And my grandson Kyan, his team won their tournament that was going on the last couple days. So we just had a wonderful day yesterday watching them. And I got a lot of sun. So yeah, oh well. Anyway, we're going to get right down to this. I'm going to take you down to my table, I think. I will ask you if you can share this video to a crafty group or a crafty friend. That really helps my small business out. So I appreciate when you do that. Yeah. But that's it. I try to get through that pretty quick on these classes because I want to be short and sweet and done. So I'm going to turn you around, take you down to my table. Just a couple really general reminders that this is me, Maureen Rolfes. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/crazystampinglady. You can find me on YouTube under Maureen Rolfes, and I am pretty sure you can also find me if you search the Crazy Stamping Lady. And you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. We do have a rewards program now, so every single qualifying order online of $20 or more will automatically receive 10% back in rewards that they can use on future purchases. This is a wonderful deal. Stampin' Up! Keeps track of those rewards. They're held in your account. They're good for 1 year. And if you do redeem some, it'll always redeem your oldest so that your newest still have their full year. You can get your account at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net and be sure that you opt in for the rewards program because we cannot automatically do it for you. And here is our new annual catalog that just started this month. I just wanted to put this here in case any of you did not receive one and need a catalog. Drop me an email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com and we'll be sure to get that to you. So let's play. Let's make our projects, guys. If you have your kits, you can pull them out and make them with me, or you can just pull them out to make sure you have everything and put them together after, whatever you would like to do. So let me grab my first card here. This is the first one that we are making today, and I think it is lovely. It's monochromatic with Night of Navy, and I think it is so pretty. In your kit, and just so you know, I will post all of these little recipe sheets with the pictures of the product in my comments after this video is over. So I'm going to put this up to the side and move this out of the way as we make this. In your kit, you would have received your basic white envelope. And inside you should have a basic white A2 base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You should have a layer of Night of Navy that has an arched piece cut out of it, and that is just a paper saving technique because you're going to also have that arch in your kit to use. You'll have a layer of Designer Series paper, and this was from the retired Serene Love Designer Series paper, which I just thought was so lovely, and I'm so sad it's retired now, but I have some, so we're going to use that on our cards. You are going to have that arch that I cut out, and all of the arches were cut out using the Everyday Arches dies. There is also a white arch that is 1 layer smaller that I cut out for you. I fussy cut a flower for you. It could be a double flower or a single, but either one's going to work. And I tied a little bow for you out of twine. So those are the pieces of your kit. This is going to be super easy to put together, guys, and I think it is just a striking card. I hope you like it too. You're just going to take your arch that is cut out, and I'm going to use Seal because that is my adhesive of choice, but you could certainly use Tombow or something else that you might have on hand. So use your adhesive, and we're just going to add this arched piece centered to the front of our card base like that. And then we're going to take our piece of Designer Series paper. Now on the back it has a really neutral design, and if you like that better, go ahead and use that. That would also be very pretty. You can see with the flower on there, and the background flowers wouldn't detract at all from it. So whatever way you like, go ahead and use that. But I am going to use the floral side up. So I'm going to put my seal on the back of here. And this floral design is just really kind of an all-over design. Some of the flowers look better one way, some the other. So you just choose the way you want it to go on your card. There's actually really no specific right or wrong on here because the flowers go in different directions. So we're going to adhere that. Then I'm going to take my blue arch, and I am going to add that again with just Seal to the front of my card here. And that is going to be centered top to bottom, side to side. So just do your best to do that. Like that. Then we're going to take our white arch. And on here I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So the sentiment that I used is wishing you a beautiful birthday, because I always need birthday cards. I just cannot keep up with them. And this is from the retired Sketched Butterflies set. This just retired this month, and I love it so much. And I love the sentiments in it. So we're going to be using the wishing you a beautiful birthday, and I am going to stamp that. What am I stamping that with? Oh, it's right underneath the stamp set. There you go. I'm stamping it with Night of Navy. So I'm just going to put it down here toward the bottom. There's plenty of room on here. And if your flowers go off the top even a little bit, that doesn't matter. So put it where you want your sentiment on your arch. I'm going to just stamp that down right there. And I'm also going to put this same sentiment on my envelope, so that my envelope has something on it. Excuse me, it looks like it messed up a little bit there. That is okay. It will still be okay. Let's get this out of the way and the stamp, because otherwise I will get ink on everything. I know myself, I do. Then we're gonna take this piece and add our flower. So I am just adding my flower directly down onto the arched piece. Now, if your flower is bigger or smaller, you decide. I'm gonna kind of center this top to bottom. On this larger one, it took up more of the space, so just put it where you want, where it looks good to you. And if part of the leaves come off the edge, don't worry about that. In fact, I actually love that look when things continue off my layer. This we're gonna pop up with dimensionals. So I love to have dimension on every card in some way. It can vary how I do that, but on this one we are gonna use dimensionals. And I'm just gonna place 5 of them here on the back of this layer. And everything except for the adhesives and any stamping that had to be done should be in your kit, so you should have that. Just gonna take that off, and I'm gonna lay this down, and the best way I've found to do that is to just take, excuse me, center the bottom where I want it, and then lay the arch directly down onto my card, okay? And there you have it. You have that all on there perfectly. I'm gonna take some Tombow glue, and over here to the side of my flower, I'm going to add the little bow with just a dab of Tombow. And take the bow and put it right on top of there like that. And then if you have an extra acrylic block, it's always good to lay that on there for just a second. It makes sure that that glue really gets down into the ribbon and adheres to your card nice. So I try to do that. And that is it, guys. That is our card. Wishing you a beautiful birthday. I think it is lovely. I am partial. Oh, it looks like I had a piece of hair caught in that one. Looks. I am partial to monochromatic. I love monochromatic cards where it's all just one color with the white or the vanilla, and I just love this. So card number 1. I will bring this back out here for a second. If you want to take a screenshot and not wait for me to get these posted, you could take a screenshot of the directions, the little recipe here, and the card, and then we will move on to the next one. Boy, I hope I am doing okay. My video is still not showing in Crazy Stamping Lady, which makes me super nervous. I hope I am there, guys. I really hope I am there. Can you just, I'm going to try to see if I can see on my camera. Can you just give me a shout if you are seeing me make these cards in my Crazy Stamping Lady group, if I am in the right place. And I'm just going to move ahead and check for those comments in a second and hope that all is going well here. Okay, it looks like people are watching, so I am assuming I am going. Okay. Let's just move on, guys. We're going to make believe this is happening. If it's not, I'll have to come back and do the whole video all over. So here is the second card we are making today. So this is card number 2 in the recipe. And again, I will bring that back out also. So in your kit, you're going to have all these little pieces like this. You'll have a very vanilla envelope that we no longer sell, but as long as I have them, I'll still use them for you guys. We have a card base that is very vanilla, an A2 base. We have a piece of Calypso Coral, and this piece is something, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess I didn't write down the measurement for that. Or if I did, I can't see it. So this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I did punch a circle out of it using the 2-inch circle punch. Okay. We have a layer of very vanilla that is going to go right on top of there. And this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I have that 2-inch circle that we punched out as, I guess this is a 2 3/8 inch. I'm sorry. 2 3/8 inch circle, as well as a 2-inch circle of very vanilla that I punched out. And then a bunch of little leaves and boughs from the bough punch that we had, which I think now is also retired. Things are retiring quickly. And 3 little gems, and these gems, I can't remember the name of them. I think they're just gold gems. They're also retired. So this is a great way for me to be able to use up some of my retired product. But you can always substitute any of these things when you are making your cards in the future. Oh, here I have the gems right here. Let me see. Gold textured dots. Okay. So these were on the last chance list, and now I'm pretty sure they're sold out. You could check and see, they might still be there. But again, gold textured dots, and they're really bright and beautiful. They remind me a little bit of amber, so I like that. Okay, so we're going to put this card together. This is a herringbone card. And I'm going to set all of my pieces aside except for my strips of paper and my rectangle of Very Vanilla. And we're going to build our herringbone design right here on this piece. You can start whichever of your strips you want. The longest ones work the best as you're starting, and then move to the shorter ones because you don't need as much up here. But I think any of them are going to be long enough for you to make this, so don't worry too much about that. I am going to use this piece here with the plaid on as my starting one, just like I did on my sample. And what I want to do is put adhesive on the back of it and then bring it down so that the top edge of this strip is at my corner and the bottom edge comes down to a point somewhere down here about a third of the way up. And I want it so it's not right in the middle. I just like the character better if it comes off to the side a little bit. You could do yours right in the middle and it would still work, but I'm going to have mine come over so that my peak is over to this side. So let me put some seal. I'm just using seal. You could certainly use Tombow, and that would probably work great on here because Tombow gives you that wiggle room before it actually sticks down. Let's start up here at that corner, like I said, and then bring this over at an angle to the side. So you have, there's nothing perfect about this. Just place it, and once it's down, and just quit worrying about it. It'll be great. Okay? So then I'm going to kind of follow the colors I had on the other one because I liked how it came together. So I'm going to use this strip. All of your strips could be different, and realize there's fronts and backs on them that all coordinate. So use the patterns and the colors that you like the best. On this one, we're going to lay this now so that it comes right up against that strip and that the corners meet together here to start forming our herringbone pattern. So on here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to place some seal on here. I just laid my finger next to it so I knew about how far to go up on it with my seal. And I'm going to place that one right there. And then you're going to find another pattern that you like. And I like these flowers, so I think I'm going to come in here with those on this one. So just lay it there. Get an idea of how far you need your adhesive up. Put it onto your paper and lay it down. So for this one, we're coming in now straight against this one and butting this piece right up against that other one, like that. Again, we're forming that herringbone pattern on here. On this one, I'm going to come in here. And again, take your time with this when you're doing it. Pick the colors that you like. You're going to have plenty of paper to play with here. I gave you plenty long strips. So, and then I'm going to come in places. Now at this point, just because I have all these pieces on here, I'm going to trim these off in case I want to reuse any of those colors for any reason. I still have a ton of it left here. Plenty long strips to use again on the card if I want. So let's pull those off. I'm going to come over here on the back and trim this off. Oh, it's stuck on my seal. There we go. And come down here on the side and cut this one off. So now I have all these pieces to play with. And if I wanted to bring any of these back in and use them, I would just use the squared off end instead of the part I trimmed. And I could come in and place that as my next layer if I wanted to do that. On this one, I do want this floral pattern. So as long as this one is long enough, which it is, I'm going to put this one on there. So that's the pattern that's on the back of the plaid, the blue plaid. because I wanted some of that gold in there because I just really like that color. And then I'm going to use, in fact, I don't even think I'm going to use my long strips. I think I'm going to try to use my smaller ones. What's on the back of this one? Yeah, I like that. We're going to use the back of this one to go right here. So I only need a little down here at the end. This is a super simple pattern. You could do it across your whole card if you wanted, just to make a background. Or you could do it with thinner strips or thicker strips. Or you could combine different strips. So just play with it, but it is a fun way to use up scraps. So I'm going to lay that there. So before I go on, let me show you a different one if I have it here. I think I do, close by. Then I started, and on this one I used thinner strips. I think these were about 1/4 inch. I didn't measure them because these truly were scraps, but you can see the difference in the look. You could use the tiny skinny scraps. You could even cut these in half and make them skinnier if you like that look better before you do your card. So just play with that. Oh, that stuck right to my glass plate and not so much to my card. So we're going to redo that here. Make sure it's sticking to the card. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim off the rest of that excess. So I actually probably have enough scraps here just from what I had to go ahead and make another card just like this if I wanted to, because I have all these strips left. You're going to have strips left too, so go ahead and make another card if you want. I'm going to get these all out of the way, off to the side here, because I don't need them anymore. Okay, so that is our herringbone layer. I am going to layer that onto my piece of Calypso Coral. Hope you guys are having a nice day. It is so beautiful out right now. Those clouds are gorgeous. There's a breeze. We're going to have rain, I think, every day except one for the next 10 days. So it's kind of nice to see the beautiful sunshine out there right now. But yeah, I hope you're having nice weather where you are too. And then we're going to take this whole entire piece and layer this on to our card base. All of these are just being centered. Okay, so that's kind of a new fun scrappy technique. I like to show you some different things even on these free classes so that you are learning as you go. So the next thing we're going to do is take our small circle and put our sentiment on there. The sentiment I used for this one is also from the Sketched Butterflies Retired set. It says, "Hope is a beautiful thing that flutters in the soul." And I've used that on several cards, just when I'm sending a card to let them know I'm thinking of them, if they're kind of going through a rough time. That little sentiment I try to put on there because I think hope is what it's all about. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to use Pretty Peacock because Pretty Peacock coordinates with, whoa, and I'm going to get that off my finger before I do anything else, or I will have one messy card. Get my little chamois out here and get my finger cleaned. What was I saying? Oh, the little boughs that I punched out, the leafy ones, those are out of Pretty Peacock. So that color match is nice on this. You could always use basic black for any of your sentiments and it would work if you don't have the different colors. I'm going to just place that kind of in the center of my circle there. And then I am going to get the ink out of the way first because you know me and ink. And we're going to place our bows. You can either place them onto the back of this circle or you can just place them onto your circle how you want them. Okay, and I want all three of them to show kind of. I want that up just a little bit, kind of like that. So I'm just going to place them on here, but either way would definitely work. And I'm going to take a little piece of our double sticky tear and tape and lay it right on there to anchor that one. And another one to anchor these two. Now, you can use this because we're going to be covering that up completely. But just be sure that you're not putting it too close to the edge where it might show if you're doing it the way I'm doing it today. And then I'm going to add this piece directly to my card. And I'm going to put it up just so those different leaves and boughs are coming off over onto my design, but not covering up too much of it, just like that, okay? And then once I have that placed, I'm gonna use some dimensionals on the back of my sentiment, and I'm gonna place them, and this is on purpose, I'm gonna place one at the top of my sentiment up here, and then I'm gonna place one on this side to the left, like right underneath my sentiment, and one on the same side to the right, but up just a little bit higher. And that is so when I place my gems the way I have them on this card, they will not be on top of a dimensional. I'll have plenty room for them to squish down because these gems are slightly raised. They have a little bit of depth to them, and I want this to go to through the mail with no problem. So I'm always careful I don't place them on top of my dimensionals. And then I'm going to take one more dimensional and put it down here, but not all the way to the bottom. Same reason, so that I can put that there. So just think about your placement before you put your things together. It really does make a difference when they go through the mail if nothing is on top of a dimensional. We're going to come here and place this just centered onto my circle like that. And now you can see those pretty little leaves sticking out. And then you should have 3 of the gems in your kit. I am going to come in here. I have, there's 3 different sizes. You might have gotten 2 sizes. You might have gotten all 3. I'm going to place this one here down toward the bottom. And my tiniest one right here, if I can get it off, up here to the side a little bit, right by my sentiment. And then my largest one, if I can hang on to that plastic and get this one. There's not a lot of excess plastic around there. My largest one, once I get it off of my plastic, I am going to come and place up here to the side. And I'm not going to put it, honestly, too far from this. And that is for the same reason. I'm going to place it right here, because now the depth and the height of this piece right here is also going to protect this a little bit because it's pretty close to it as it goes through the mail. The other thing I know a lot of you have seen me do is when I send my cards through the mail, I'll put another piece of cardstock over them. All that does is protects the machine from rubbing the envelope and breaking it where your gems are. So if you have old scraps, and I reuse them, in fact, someone just sent me a card this week and she reused one I had sent to her. And the way I know I sent it to her is I always write on it that this is here to protect your card, and it came back with my handwriting on. So I thought that was cool. Please reuse them. They are just a great little tool to protect your card. Scraps of cardstock that you're just not using anymore, or actually I think that one that I just showed you was off of a brown envelope that was nice and thick that I had received. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment, the same exact sentiment, onto my envelope here too. And I'm going to do that now because otherwise I have to bring this back out and do it later, and I don't want to have to do that. So, and I like something on all of my envelopes. There we go. What a beautiful, beautiful little sentiment that is. Okay guys, that is card number 2. I'm going to bring that out. If you want to take a picture, I will also post it in the comments as I mentioned. But I love it. It's bright, it's cheery, it's beautiful, a great friendship card or thinking of you. So that is card number 2 using the herringbone technique. Next we're going to do card number 3. I think this was my favorite. It was another monochromatic card, and it was from that same Retired Serene Love Designer Series paper, just a different color. And we're going to do just a little bit of a fun fold technique on this card. So you're going to have, there's the information that I'll bring back out. I think the information on that card number 2 is wrong. So I'm going to probably correct that before I post it. So you might want to wait for me to post these, because if I see something wrong, I will fix them. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to pull the stuff out for here. In your envelope, which you have a basic white envelope, you have a basic white card base. You're going to have a piece of Lost Lagoon that is 4 by 5 1/4, a piece of Designer Series paper that is 3/4 by 5, and coming in from the right side, I did cut a slit that is 1.5 inch. it should be even top to bottom, but 1.5 inch coming in on the side. You're going to have a half of one of our retired pearlized doilies, a circle that was cut out of our Stylish Shapes dies, and a piece of iridescent ribbon. Excuse me. And this iridescent striped ribbon, I think, is still available. It is beautiful. It shines and shimmers, and yet it's very neutral against any card. So it is one of my favorites. I have several spools of this because I don't want to run out any too soon. Okay, so let's put this together. The first thing we're going to do is just take our piece of Lost Lagoon, and I am going to put my seal in all the corners, and then lay that onto the front of my card base, making sure my card base is opening the right way. That has never happened to any of you, I'm sure, where you put it together wrong, but I know I've done it many a time. Then the next thing we're going to do is take the piece that I've cut into, and we're going to make a little collar fold on here. So what I'm doing is I am folding back to where that is cut in, and folding back at the corner down here. And if that's hard for you, you can actually lay a ruler there from where I cut in to that corner and just gently fold back on there. That'll give you your initial fold, and then you can use your fingers to press that down. You're going to do the same thing from the top, and the ruler really does help, guys. So I will a lot of times use mine when I'm folding back on this, at least to get that first initial little crease on there, like that. And then you can fold it back completely, just like that. And the reason it's called a collar fold is because when you lay it like this, it does look like the collar of a shirt. So that is a collar fold. I'm going to use my bone folder to just kind of crease those creases really nice and gently. And then I'm going to put this down onto the front of my paper. And when I put it down, I am going to put seal at the top, the side, the bottom, and then I'm not going to put any here in the middle. So if you want to add a little more to tack it down, you can put it closer to the side, but I want this to be open so I can stick my doily in it. And I'm going to center this onto the front of that paper. Now, because of the fold, it's sometimes hard to see if you're centering it well on the right side. So just make sure that your top, your left side, and your bottom borders are pretty even. And then that'll pull in, just like that. Then you're going to take your doily, and this is going to get tucked down, and it's going to get tucked in just enough, like that, so that it's onto the Lost Lagoon completely, and that it's under the flaps. You don't have to worry about how far if you have a little border here and under the flaps, because this is going to cover that center part. So don't worry how far in or out you are with your circle. But I like it out quite a bit because I like, excuse me, let me get a sip of my coffee for a second here. Oh, so much better. Because I like the look of the doily. And you want to, when you're putting your doily in, to realize that one side is iridescent like that and pearlized, and the other side is flat. The flat side is great because you can sponge or color on it and turn your doily whatever color you want. But I want this beautiful, shiny, pearlized side coming up on here. And to add this to the card, I am just going to take a tiny bit of Tombow and put it right on this little arched piece right here. And that's it, guys. I'm not going to worry about tacking the rest of it down. That's all you're going to need. And now I'm going to stick this under there, being sure I don't touch that glue down, so I'm kind of arching it with my finger until I get it in pretty far. Now, the good thing about this, when you lay it in there, is if any of your glue oozes out around that circle, it is going to be completely covered up with this and you won't see it. So don't freak about that. Don't worry about that. Okay, so that's our little doily tucked in there. Next thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment. So my sentiment, You Make Me Smile, comes from a current set, the Around It All set. And this is currently available as an online exclusive. And it has congrats, it's a big day, you make me smile, and then a graduation, wedding, just a smiley face baby. Really cute, fun little set. So that's where I pulled my sentiment from. And I'm stamping it again in the Lost Lagoon, although you could certainly stamp it in black. Basic black works for any sentiment on any card, if you don't have this color. And there is my You Make Me Smile. I'm going to pull that out of the way for a second here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do my envelope right away. Then I won't have to bring it back. Let's just do it right away. You'd think I'd be in the habit and would always do that, but nah, I have to think about it. Alrighty. Hope you all had a nice Mother's Day if you're mothers, or got to celebrate your mom if you could. That would be wonderful. It was such a nice day for us. We just really got to spend a lot of time with family. My daughters spoiled me with gifts. We got to watch soccer games and go out to dinner. I'm going to take this ribbon now and fold it in half a little bit at an angle like that. And I'm going to place this onto the back of my sentiment. And again, you could use seal to hold it down. But since I had my tear and tape out from before, I'm just going to tear off about 1 inch of tear and tape. Gonna fold my little ribbon, put it coming out the side where I want it, kind of the side or a little bit to the top, however you like it. I'm gonna take my tear and tape and lay it right over the top of that to hold it. I am not gonna peel that tear and tape off. I mean, you could, because we are sticking it down, but I'm not going to, because I want to use some dimensionals and I don't want this to interfere with it in any way. At this point, now that I see how much ribbon I have sticking out, I'm going to trim my ribbons. I'm just going to trim them at an angle like that. Get those pieces out of the way. And then we're going to add this to the front of the card. So now I want to show you on this is what I did is, because I wanted these little flaps to stay up a little bit, I am going to take a dimensional first, and you could use your mini dimensionals for this, and I'm going to put one on the back side of each of those corners. And that's going to just keep the depth on this when you're sending it through the mail. It's going to keep that from squishing down so flat so that you get that actual collar look to it. It's just an extra little step. You certainly don't have to do that. And then I'm going to add this. And because this is going over these two sections that already have dimensionals there, I'm just going to add a dimensional on the left and right sides of it rather than the top and the bottom. Again, play with it, put as many as you want, but this is how I do things when I'm planning them and figuring out how they're going to go on my card. So I have a dimensional on the left side, a dimensional on the right side, and then I'm going to come in here and center this. And I am just going to center this circle so that whatever is showing around it is pretty even. It can be at any point on your doily. I might have this one tucked in a little less than this one, so you can see I'm seeing a little more of the design of the doily. That does not matter. Just try to make sure that your circle kind of goes with the circle on the doily. And that is card number 3. Super fun. I thought that was just, I think it was my favorite card out of them when I put it together. I thought, oh, I just love this. So let me put this out again with the instructions real quick if you want a quick screenshot. But again, I will look at these instructions and make sure they're all correct before I post them. Okay, You Make Me Smile. I love it. Okay, so that was our 3 cards that you would have gotten for a $50 purchase. If you purchased $75, you would have gotten this bonus project. So in your little cello bag, you're going to have a piece of either Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz. I think I used up some pieces that I had, so you might, oh,